Okay, it's active now. So okay, I'm seeing few persons joining. Sorry guys, it was a very long day for me and I hope you can hear me. If you can hear me, please drop. I don't know where I kept my laptop mic. I don't want to start looking for it. I should have kept it long before now, but I got carried away. So if you guys can hear me, because the essence of this is based on the feedback I got from the community. So, okay, I've seen some persons joining. So, without wasting much of our time, so I want us to get the feedback. I want to give you guys the feedback based on the response I got during the poll that we shared on the WhatsApp group. So a lot of people voted for, will I say voted for, or said that they have the fear to fail and they don't know where to start from. So this is on the base of our webinar today so that we'll get a clue of what we are headed at, because it is much easier to come off and start telling people, do this, you have to do this, without you going deeper into what the problem is. You will keep going round our circles. But when you tackle the problem from the root, for example, if you have a tooth pain and your doctor tells you that your tooth pain is because there is a an insect or something deep in your tooth root and you have to like remove it. But the second option is just use silver to cover it, cover the hole or something like that. Outwardly to look good, but you know that you have not sorted the problem yet. So that's why I decided to like send you guys that pool so that I can know what you are focusing on. So with that being said, I would like to welcome you all. Yes, I'll say you all. I know you guys are just few here. The same thing that happens when opportunity is shared, limited people get to show up, and the rest that don't show up, what they are going to do is they are going to complain that things don't work out. But it's totally fine. I guess maybe some of them are also busy or have network challenge. So like, I don't know if most of you know me. My name is Mabundo Angela Arinze. A whole lot of people know me on the group as Java Queen, and you can call me anything. Some persons know me as Ifnaya. So, whichever one that you are comfortable with, you can go with that. So, I welcome you all. Then, personally, will I say introducing myself or reintroducing myself? I started my tech journey 2019. It was a very funny way. It was during my NYSC and I was rejected in so many places. But will I say God has a way of doing his thing? I finally got to work in a tech firm, which opened my eyes into tech. And since then, I've been glued because I served between 2019 and 2020. So that was my first experience working from home, which was based on lockdown. Then I didn't understand what working from home was. I thought maybe it's because of situations like lockdown. That's why people work from home. I think I need to remove my glasses because of reflection. So yeah, I had a very long day. So then with that, I fell in love with tech and I started building my career in tech. The first career I built in tech was digital marketing because I realized that, oh, wonderful. So I can actually sell my market online without having to like go about telling people, please buy, please buy. It was intriguing for me. So I started learning it gradually. I mastered it, and with all humility, I became very good at it. And then, more like maybe a flair, I decided to like, oh, let me go into coding too. Let me see how it is. And that was 2021. I enjoyed it. I wasn't consistent because I wanted something that can get me money ASAP. This is under tech. I did a whole lot of other stuff. I did business, I sold things online. Yes, in order to make ends meet. So that's just like a brief introduction of who I am. So I know that by tomorrow, a whole lot of new signees will get to know me better. We'll dive deeper into our classes. So let's tackle with the major thing, that is the obstacles stopping you from achieving your 2025 goal. I'll first start by saying you are your own obstacle. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to push blame to you. I understand what you have been dealing with. I understand how difficult it is for you to stand up from the bed, the anxiety that you feel, the emotions that you feel, feeling overwhelmed, and all of that. Yes, that is what makes us what human. And it would be very unfair for me to dismiss it or start saying, oh, you're supposed to do it this way. You're supposed to, sorry guys, you're supposed to um get it done. You're supposed to like be active, up and running. No, it doesn't actually work that way, especially for someone that is taking baby steps. It's more or less like trying to tell a toddler now, oh, you're supposed to be walking, dress up and start going to work. But nobody is a toddler. But in terms of you transitioning, in terms of you building your career, there is always that toddler stage, infant stage, while you are growing when you get to that level. So I wouldn't be expecting my 6-year-old niece to know what I know now because she's still getting to that level. Yes, so that's what I mean on that note. So then, I'm going to focus on the top major things that you guys voted for on the group, which is procrastination, fear of failure, unclear starting point, that is you don't know how to start, then financial challenges. A whole lot of people even voted like two different things at the same time. So I will first start with procrastination. um if we should go by, will I say, dictionary meaning, will you all agree with me that procrastination is a thing of the mind? It's something that holds you captive in your mind. There are there are so many things that surround procrastination. There are some persons that their type of procrastination is they grade what they are supposed to do and then they start from this least one, and before you know it, they will end up not doing anything at all at the end of the day. And there are other ones that, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. First thing tomorrow morning, I'm going to start. People on weight loss journey, people that are transitioning into tech, people that are learning a course, anything at all. That's where procrastination starts. And then part of what causes procrastination too is fear of imperfection and overwhelming feeling of the size of the goal. So now, some persons will probably see it like, oh, I have a lot of things I need to do. I remember when I was younger, I thought that once I write jump, my whole life problem has has ended. Like that's the only thing that is my problem. And till I realized that when you get to university, you face worse things. So see procrastination as part of your growth. There is no particular formula to stop procrastination. One of the things that worked for me was accountability. After this class, in that group, I don't know how we are going to do it, but there is something they call accountability, being accountable. I usually do it amongst my students, but most of them end up not taking it seriously because they feel like you are trying to. One thing I wouldn't do is to control an adult. So they feel like sometimes you are trying to tell them what to do. But trust me, if you follow the due process, that's when you can achieve your goal. But if you feel like you already figured it out, that's part of your problem. So you break down your goals into smaller steps. That's one thing about why how you can save yourself from procrastination. You break down your goals into smaller steps. If you are supposed to do like three things in a day, which is you do your coding for, I'm using coding terms, I'm using tech terms so that you get familiar with it. If you're supposed to do coding 2 hours a day, and you're supposed to go to the market and make your food, and you're supposed to maybe probably if it's a breastfeeding mother or you have a child you're taking that is under your care, you know that oh you have to do this. It's for you to plan properly. So if coding for 2 hours is going to be a lot for you and make you feel overwhelmed, why don't you start with 30 minutes and then track your progress? If you do 30 minutes today, maybe tomorrow 40 minutes. You wouldn't do 30 minutes today and then tomorrow you say, oh, I'm doing 1 hour. No, just take that baby steps because you're actually in the baby step level. So don't try to. I remember when my niece was much younger and I just had this urge to make her walk fast. Like, can you start walking? But she was just 7 months and I just couldn't do it. So that's why there are baby steps. So you can't try to give a child that was giving birth today swallow. But will that child still eat swallow? Definitely. When I mean swallow, like semo and soup, in case if you don't understand what I mean. So when it is time for that child to eat swallow, the child will start eating swallow. But if you bet a child today and expect, oh, this is human being, let's no, it doesn't work that way. That's why there are baby steps, both in career and human relationship. Then the next thing is you start with the small actions. You don't have to me, sometimes I start with the big actions because I feel like the smaller ones, by the time I'm getting tired, I will easily do them. Then sometimes I'll start with the smaller ones. Once there is no light, I'll still tell you guys the strategy I use because of the challenges in Nigeria. Once there is no light, is either I go and read my book or I do something that has nothing to do with being online. I must try to be productive. I usually say this, take this word home. Be productive, not busy. Because I see a whole lot of people say they are busy, but at the end of the day, if you ask them, what were you able to do today? You say, be productive, not busy. Then you start with small items, action plans, if that's what works for you. But yes, that's the baby step. If you are supposed to make your bed first, making bed is the easier step. Do that first. Then the next thing is maybe you want to sweep your room. Sweep your room. Don't start saying, oh, I'm going to carry this whole house to this other side. You will know if you will start feeling overwhelmed. So break your actions in smaller, manageable plans. Some people use reminder. When I usually code, I do 25 minutes, 35 minutes, 45 minutes reminders. I just set it on my iPhone. I will just say, hey Siri, set um remind me in next 35 minutes. Like there's a way that Siri does it. So once I will be absent minded, once that time clicks, I remember that is 35 minutes. So I'll be like, I've wasted 35 minutes of my time. Not like wasted, like I've used 35 minutes of my time. And then if it is wasted, when I will know is I will now check whether maybe the debugging I was trying to do worked. If probably what I want to learn, that 35 minutes I was able to tackle it, then that's when I can now tick on my paper progress. Yes, that's there's something that psychologists used to say, whether it's oxytocin, like there is this happy this thing that gets released, you'll be excited, you say the next one. Then there are some persons, once they get that one milestone, let me hit my head on the bed first, let me rest. You want to celebrate your 35 minutes with 1 hour celebration and you go back to the bed, or you tend to like start chatting online or something like, oh, let me take a break. No, that's when you end up not achieving what you set out to achieve that day. So you do that, you mark that actionable plan. Why I introduced initially accountability partner is the accountability partner you are going to choose is the person that you are going to work doing the same time, somebody that is convenient. You wouldn't choose somebody that you know that probably the person is not a morning person. The person wakes up by 12 noon and you wake up by 4 a.m. So that person can't be your accountability partner. So it has to sync. So where your accountability partner comes in is when that person sends you a message and you say, yes, I'm up. Have you been able to finish your 35? You can choose to lie to the person because you are lying to yourself. There's some persons that will be like, oh, yes, but the most raw thing that will make you grow is to be honest with yourself and be honest to the person you are accountable to. If not, because the person will not be there to judge, but the person will just ask you just for you not to feel like, oh, I let you not be like you are the one not meeting up, you say yes. No, you are doing yourself. If at any point there is something that is holding you back, say, okay, I couldn't finish it. Your accountability partner can have like a 10 minutes chat or call with you too. Both of you will encourage each other. Then these are the things you can use to overcome procrastination. Then you can say a prayer. Yes, I usually recommend prayer. God help me kind of prayer. I can't do this on my own. I do it a lot. Then the next one is fear of failure. First of all, fear is an illusion. Why I say fear is an illusion is something that comes to your mind, comes to your heart, and then the next thing it begins to manifest. Fear is what if, and then faith is even if. So, what if you fail, right? Then, and so you try again. Will you say because you what's the most practical example to use? Will you say for people that have graduated, maybe you have had carryover once in one time like that? Will you say because you had carryover one time that you are now scared to write that course? Sure, you will still write that course with the hope that you are going to pass this time around. And there are some persons that have written like course 3 times and they have not passed it. Those people develop fear of the course, fear of the exam, fear of the lecturer, and everything that comes with it. But that still doesn't mean that if the time for the course gets to that time, they will not still go and write it. So that is always trying. And the fear of failure also comes with feedback that you receive from people. There are ways. That's why I think in my last webinar, I mentioned something like there are jobs, there are places I will never work, no matter the pay. Why I said that is not because I've gotten it all. We see my mental health, you see my peace. I don't think I want to negotiate. There was a job I did in 2023. It was just weeks. And the man, I don't know whether that is the most toxic way to try or test people during probation. I just send the HR message. I say I'm done. Like, I think that 2 weeks, I didn't even ask for the pay or anything. I just said I'm done. Even the pay was so small, but because they are in Ukraine, I felt like, okay, I want to add this Ukraine. It's not even on my CV. I can't even put such on my CV. And we'll hop on a meeting. I'll do a design. I'm showing you what I did. If you don't like the color, you can say, okay, you can work on the color, right? If you don't like maybe the way the font is or something, you can say, the next thing this man will say, this thing you did is just rubbish. Initially, he said it to someone else in the meeting at first. I was trying to know whether he was on call during the meeting and his mic was like not muted. Maybe he was trying to talk to somebody, because the meeting we were about 15 persons, so you will not see, when you hear the person's voice. I don't know if you know how Zoom works. So some persons will be hidden, you will not really get to see the person's face. But I know the person talking, like the name will show this line. And I was trying to like like connect the whole dots until it got to my turn. And he said that, you have just been doing rubbish. And it's not even up to 2 days that I joined the firm. Oh. Because when you newly join a company, they are going to give you some time for you to adjust to the work environment and workspace. That's how it should be. They have worked for a lot of people, and that's how they receive me, for you to adapt. They may give you 2 3 weeks for you to like start adjusting. It's now left for you to speed up like your understanding. And he did it again, like three different occasions. Well, I say fortunately, I fell sick that period and I just stopped showing up. They were sending me messages. That was a toxic behavior, and that wasn't a good um, effective communication on my end. So I take responsibility. But part of me said they deserve it, that I don't even want to work for them anymore. But that's a very wrong way to dismiss, until I now later sent the HR message. See, please, I'm done. Because you talk down, I'll put in effort. I will go back, I'll start trying to know. I will be so confused. I don't even know the correction, because you just said what you did is rubbish. I don't even know what to work on. I don't even know what to. So if you stay in that type of environment, whether work related, family or people around you, friends that talk down on your efforts, you will develop the fear to fail. Trust me. You will not even have the urge to try. That's why I sieved intentionally the people that are very close to me, like close. If our goals don't align, I don't have any conversation with you. And then if peradventure our goals don't align, I don't align you or have conversations about my goal with you. If I have a friend and the only thing we talk about is, let's say, gist, we talk random things, that's where I will place you. Then if you are in my career, I don't know the word to use, like my cubicle, like my inner caucus, and we talk about growth, we talk about money, those are the people I share my ideas with. I wouldn't go and meet that friend that I know that the only gist that we bring is, Omo, you see wetin turn to DK post. You saw that, I'll be like, I saw it though. Matter end. I cannot bring that kind of career gist, and I'm telling you this is the plan I have for my. It's not possible. It's not possible. It's not about friendship, bestie, or anything. No. I wouldn't share something very special to me for somebody that I clearly know that they wouldn't understand, and they may dismiss me like almost at hearing it, because they wouldn't take you serious, because it's just like, it may sound strange. Not like my family wouldn't take me serious, but there are things I don't share with my family. Yes, I said what I said. Not because they are going to talk down on me or not believe in me, but it's best not shared. It's best kept to myself. I'm not trying to say, oh, husband and wife, don't tell your husband this. But if peradventure you notice that your husband, your partner, or somebody that you love you share things with, and the person is not really, walk behind the cover, walk behind the scene. Just do your thing. When the time comes, they will see it, because it's going to affect you. Because one thing I've learned is you are pouring into yourself. You don't need any other person's validation in the truth of the whole matter. You don't need anybody's validation. You can be dropping any reaction on the chat so that I'll know that you guys are like listening, so you can make it active in case if you want to drop. So that is part of what causes fear to fail. Once you have been talked down on, remove yourself from that environment that talks down on you. Trust me, that thing you're afraid of is your liberation. That thing you're afraid to do, that you feel that if you try this, you are going to fail. Trust me, that is your liberation. I started DigiSmart since 2021 December. I did not take it serious. I left it. Not because I didn't have the capacity to do it or to push it as a brand. I have free skills that can push my brand. I'm a digital marketer, so I can push my online audience. Although I lost all my pages December last year, I told myself, my friend wanted to say, is this a sign? I said, do you know the sign it is for me? It is a sign for me not to give up. I lost my page. I had to like start creating it from the scratch. I created a new page. I had to separate my personal page from my page because I lost everything. All of it, like, boom. And I woke up to the email. I was like, wow, okay. The next day, I just left me to feel the emotions that day. The next day, I created a new page. I say, there is no way, when I know there are people out there and the passion in me not to allow people make the same mistakes I made when I was transitioning into tech, that's the essence of DigiSmart. So if I happen to give up on DigiSmart and say because my page went down, that means the thousands and millions of people that are, will I say, I wouldn't say their destiny is in my hand, like their their transition or something like that is in my hands for me to push them. That means I wouldn't be able to achieve that goal. So if there are people that I didn't learn from, if the people I learned from decided that they wouldn't want to impact knowledge, that means I wouldn't be where I am today. So you see how life works. So remove the people that you know they're around you and they talk fear into you. And then also I know there is also a category of people that I used to be like that. Will I say I'm happy my dad died? I had this father-daughter relationship that I am always striving to make my daddy proud at any given opportunity. He didn't put any pressure on me actually. Like, he was okay if I didn't take first position and all of that, but I'll be feeling bad. I want to like do that. There are people in that category. There is always somebody you want to make proud. Remove that from your head. If there is any end goal, let it be like you are making yourself proud. If you end up not making yourself proud, it's still okay. I read one of the letters I wrote in my future. I'm going to introduce that. I don't know whether some of us know it. Future app, future me app. I usually write a letter to myself. By 31st of January, I'm going to read my January goals letter that I wrote to myself at the beginning of the year. Then by 31st of December 2025, I wrote the things I want to get. So I'll read the letter I wrote on January 1st, on 31st of like my future self. So I read one time. I think that was, I can't remember, but that was December. One of the letters I wrote. Sometimes I write random letters. I might be feeling somehow and I don't like how I'm feeling. I'll just write a letter. If now today, 20th of July, you are feeling like this, I'm giving you 2 months. I'm writing this letter to my future 2 months. Did you come over? Did you overcome this? And something like that. So I was reading one, and then at the end of it, I wrote something to myself. I said, even if you end up not achieving this, I'm still proud of you. I wrote it to myself. Will I call it self love or self care or self validation, like myself by myself? I don't need anybody to tell me, oh, well done. I tell myself, well done. because I'm the only one actually, even not even my mother. It's only my creator and I that knows what it takes to be me. Anybody can stay from afar and be like, oh, this girl is like this. You there is that is the uniqueness, and it's only you that knows what it takes to be you. So who goes who to come and try to put fear inside of you that you cannot do it? If the person has the ability to be you one day, if anybody tries to say, can you be me just for 1 minute? There is no way. I can't even be you for 1 minute. It is not possible. So whatever you do, make sure it's about you. I I think last year there were things I wrote down, and then towards the end of the year I started feeling overwhelmed. I didn't achieve most of my goals. And then my friend said something. He said, these things that you wrote, who were you writing it for? I now realized that actually I was writing it so that I can show off. Yeah, yeah, I know. Your tutor is also has her own flaws. I realized. So he asked me that question. He said, what was the purpose of this? That's why you are feeling the way you are feeling. I thought deep into it. I now realized that these things that I wrote down, not the monetary parts to show off or no. Like I wanted to like be like, I was able to finish my coding, I was able to do this, I've built this website, I've done this, like more like to um is it sure that's more to brag, that's the word. So I wanted to brag about it and I wasn't able to do it because a whole lot of stuff happened last, not like a whole lot of stuff, yes. So that at the middle of the year, I got stuck. I was so confused for some months before I could get myself back. So I was asking myself, no, no. So when I now realized what that thing taught me was if you are setting any standard, if you're setting any goal, if you are planning to do anything or achieve anything, make sure you know the purpose for which you are trying to achieve that goal. Make sure you remove any third party, second party. Let it be to make yourself proud. Like, let it be for you. There was a time, unfortunately, I'm not married, but there was a time I was learning something. And I'm sorry, guys. There was a time I was learning something, and I said, by the time I'm going to meet my future husband, or by the time my future husband will meet me, to be like the way Boaz meet Ruth walking. I'm sorry, guys. It sounds very funny to me now because remembering it, it sounds very stupid for me to even think of that. It's not as if you wouldn't be proud to maybe show your husband or your husband to be what you have achieved. No, that's not what I mean. But if the real intention that you are using to do it, what if the husband later did not show up? So will you not be proud of your achievements? That's what I asked myself. Yes, I will be proud of because I did it for me and I did it by myself. Nobody put hand to do it except God. Yes, I will not take all the whole glory. Yes, God comes first. So then the next one is okay, we have spoken enough about fear of failure. So that thing you think you're afraid of will definitely not happen. Yes, trust me. Just take that leap of faith and start. Then the next one here is not knowing where to start. A lot of people chose this. And okay, will I say it's usually one of the key things that happen when you are transitioning. I was there. So I'm not going to gaslight that, oh, I just arrived. No, your feelings are valid. Not knowing where to start is a very valid feeling. You just make research today, you be like, oh, I want to be a UI UX designer. No, I should just focus on graphics. No, there's money in cybersecurity. Or should I even do cloud computing? Can I even do it? Fear of failure comes in again. Okay, let me just. They have been posting things in this group, and it's looking as if I'm not even responsive. I'm not even taking notes of everything that is happening. And it's like I'm behind. Where do I even start from? Like, where will I even start from reading all this chart? Where can I keep up? Can I even keep up? Yes, your feelings are valid. When I, not like when I started, I went home after from camp. I later got that my PPA, and then I went home. I carried my laptop and I got back to Abuja. And the only thing that was in my mind was there was one guy I saw. Thanks to him, we are still in contact today, although he's married currently. I just told him I just want to learn graphics. And I don't know why I wanted to learn graphics actually. But whenever I see him walking and I'll just come to his laptop, I'll be like, ah, what are you doing? I'll see maybe skeleton design, like it's not complete. Then maybe 2 hours later, I'll now come, ah, let me see that. And I'll see, ah, I say, how do you do this thing? So it's in kind of like got my attention because that was what I was seeing. Maybe if I had seen maybe somebody that is probably coding, I may probably say, oh, I want to learn this one. So, but the graphics got my attention. And then I just sit beside him. He said, no problem, that I'll just be sitting beside him. If I have any question, I'll ask. That was how I started sitting beside him and I was just asking questions. Then one day he installed Photoshop on my laptop. And then what did I do? I decided to create something. I don't even know what, I can't remember, but I remember that design. When my boss saw it, he told me, "So you did this under Ablat's tutelage?" I said yes. Like I was waiting to hear you can do better. Just said, this is too good for a beginner. And my mind wanted to blow. That moment, I thought I'm going to be the biggest. I thought I'm going to be the biggest graphic designer in the whole world because if someone said, yeah, you are too, this is too good for a beginner, my head won't burst. But if I tell you guys currently that I don't know how to use Photoshop, it's a very shameful thing to say. But currently, I don't know how to use Photoshop. If I want to like refresh my head, I have to go to YouTube. I've forgotten everything I was taught. Honestly, I'm not joking. So your feelings of not knowing where to start, because I was just going from here to here, and then I felt like, oh, this is my what I say, I found my parts. Oh, this Photoshop, this but I was very good with Photoshop then. I made money from all these internet people. I will remove your picture, put another picture. Yes, God forgive me. Then I needed money, and that was what like gave me money that period a lot. So people would just come and say, please remove this passport image, put this image. If you see my Photoshop, but currently I can't do it. I can't even edit anything. As funny as it sounds, but then I was so good at it. But why did I share this story? It's for you to know that at the beginning of your journey, you will be running helter skelter. And why did I run helter skelter? I didn't have a proper guidance. Nobody sat me down, held meeting with me, had a class with me to tell me that this is where to go. Why are you choosing this? I was blindly following, I'm excited about graphics design. And I lost the passion because it's not like it did not connect with what I want and it couldn't flow. The guy that taught me that graphics, it's what connected him. Until today, as I'm speaking to you guys, he's still a designer, a big one. He has people that he has been training, a very big one and very good at what he does. But me, I just jumped in, look, exciting, and then I ran away because it's not my thing. So if you do that, you will use your first 6 months, first 1 year, first 2 years without unlocking exactly what you want. So with that being said, let me just properly, although these are actually for my students, but let me tell you guys how to unlock what you want and how you can start from where you are. The first thing is you write down your goal, break it down in phases. Your short term goal, your mid-term goal, and your long-term goal. Yes. How you do that is in the next 5 years, where do I want to see myself? That's the long-term goal. Then this year, where do I want to see myself? That's the short-term goal. Then the mid-term goal is if in between this my career and eventually maybe I'm married or you're unmarried, I eventually got pregnant and how I got married, like things will change for you, right? What is your goal in that period? I know sometimes married women, sometimes pregnancy just pops out of the blues and you'll be like, oh, I didn't plan for this. So that's when you make a plan for it in case if it pops out from nowhere while you are trying to achieve something. So that one is the midterm goal. That's in between your long term and just that middle part. So when you ask yourself, you now start with what you know. What is one thing that you know that you do effortlessly without being told? For example, kids, you might wake up a kid that knows how to recite numbers 1 to 10 and say, recite your numbers 1 to 10. And the kid will just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 effortlessly, right? That's what I mean. So now you may be wondering, how do I? This is not about numbers. This is not about reciting numbers. Let me break it down to the tech terms. If you, okay, let me first use one of my students that I tutored, I mentored directly. She, I gave her an assignment that day when she was asking me, she doesn't know where to start from. So I told her to do something, and you guys can take this home. I told her to ask herself what she can do effortlessly without being told. She said she doesn't know and all of that. I said, okay, how you will know? Because a lot of people, when I ask them, they say they don't even know what they can do effortlessly. That's where the confusion starts from. But how you will know what you do effortlessly is when you see when you press your phone, you do it effortlessly. When you try to um no, I wouldn't use taking your shower. There are a whole lot of people that struggle to take shower. I'm trying to see what human do effortlessly without being told. Eat food. Yeah, there are people that are not foodies, but majority of Nigerians like food. It flows. You are not being told. When you are hungry, you know. So there are some persons that they know that they write a lot. Me, I write a lot. Even part of me thought I was going to be a journalist. I started writing when I was in primary six. I wrote my first novel. I thought maybe I would have been a big author by now, but I guess that's not my calling. So for persons like that, you know that, oh, you write a lot. And when people read your piece, they be like, wow, this is amazing. You're a good storyteller. That means you do this effortlessly. Like you don't even need a special skill to learn it. There are people that learn how to write, you understand? But you do it effortlessly, you know how to use your words, you know how to put it together. So when I asked her that, after she told me that she doesn't know, so we ended up breaking it down. And then we now realized, I now asked her very deep questions. Does she like protecting her data? Because I think I viewed her status a whole lot of time. She's somebody that always try to make sure she hides sensitive informations. You know, when you send a screenshot, me, I can be very careless. When you send a sensitive information, you hide the person's number, then maybe there is a chat before the chat you want to show that you shouldn't. So I now asked her, do you like protecting sensitive information? She was like, yes. That's how I now asked her, have she ever considered trying cyber security? So what's that? I gave her an introductory course. Like I sent her a link that is on Udemy. I said, okay, do this introductory course. It's about 40 minutes. When you do it, you are going to finally decide. So she did it the next day. She now told me that I think this is what I want to do. I asked her, why do you think that's what you want to do? Is it because the theory sounds easy? He said no, that he realized that he tries to protect people's data and also be conscious of the data that she puts out. I said, okay, that was how we were able to decide her niche. So now coming to you, you don't know where to start from. Ask yourself, and when you ask yourself, be very honest with yourself. Remove that thing from your mind that you have kept somewhere, that I want to go into tech because of money. Yes, you go into tech because of the money. There is money in tech. Don't let anybody lie to you. There is so much money in tech. So much money. I'm not even kidding you. But for you to make that so much money, you need to be good at what you are doing. So you wouldn't use the mindset that there is so much money in tech and jump into what is going to flop. So why do you, what's not the purpose? So you wouldn't be blindfolded. Yes, it's good to have it at the back of your mind that there is money there, that you're going for the money. Yes, but don't let it blind you, that you will now make research on based on the highest paying tech this thing. If I want to do that, I'll just go to back end. But I told myself, me and Python are not friends. Python wanted to make me mad. I just closed it. I left it once. I maybe later in the future I'm going to try Python programming language. But for now, Python should stay far away from me for now. But back end developers, they make money. Then in tech, there are devs, developer, there are software engineers, there are front enders, there are people that just write JavaScript. Like there are various niches inside coding. There are people that I know that make DevOps engineer. These people make, I don't want to go into it. So now, me, I'm now saying, oh, I want to be a DevOps engineer, or they make money. And I'm not good at it. I'll just waste 6 months of my life trying to learn how to be a DevOps engineer. And this is not trying to attack your how will I put it? It's not coming to attack your ability and capacity. I'm not saying this to talk down on your I can do it capacity. No. I I said it and I'm going to say it again. Consistency is not usually the key. You can be consistently doing rubbish. Say it anywhere, tell anybody, you can consistently do rubbish without achieving any results. That's just the truth. And you'll be like, consistency is key. You know you are struggling with this. You are not even understanding what you are learning. Consistency is key. I'm going to figure it out. 1 month, 2 months. You know it's not working for you. And you are trying to hold on to consistency is key. Just like telling me now to go and swim. How do I want to do it? How do I want to do it? I will not say I can do it. That I will now use that agility. I can do it. There is not anything I set my mind to do. I will drown. Is my enemy's dead body they will bring out. So I can't, I know this is obviously something I can't do. And I'm trying to. This one is not even, tech is not even a matter of life and death. But yes, it's a matter of life and death, because every time you waste, every minute, the day I learned time management, I don't allow anybody waste my time. I might stand with you, I'll just tell you I have 4 minutes. The person will be like, I still have something I want to do. Not because I'm in a hurry, but because I want to put you on the level that when you are conversing with me, you don't start, I don't give you the impression I have all the time in the world. Yes. Not to be rude. I wouldn't say it in a rude way, like, oh, Oga, talk very fast. I have 5 minutes. No. I'll just say, okay, yeah, I don't really have much time. There's something I need to do in the next 5 minutes. Not because I have something to do in the next 5 minutes. I want to create that person, trigger in that person's brain that you don't waste my time and that my time is very precious to me. So I wouldn't take my time and sit on my laptop and dedicate and say, Siri, remind me next 1 hour. and I'll take my time, put my phone on DND, and then I'll take my time to learn. And I know that that learning, just like example, when I was trying Python, I saw it was not entering. There is no way, except maybe someone comes and starts explaining it to me and I start understanding it. It's a totally different case. But when you are even explained to, you don't understand it, it's entering from here to here. That means it's a sign that that thing is not for you. Sometimes it's not because you have blockhead. Sometimes it's not because you feel that you can't assimilate. And then there are some persons that maybe something that you are used to and like you used to be good at it, you have not unlocked that ability again. Trust me, you will get there. Take that baby steps, enjoy it. So you wouldn't say I want to stay consistent in my goals in 2025. And you know that January is here and the things you have set out, they are even bigger than 2025. In this January, you want to get a tech job. You wrote it down. Only this January, you want to learn tech. Only this January, by the end of January 31st, I've gotten my tech job. Yes, I know we work by faith, not by sight, but it's not a feasible goal. So by the time you don't achieve it, you start feeling worked up by February. No. So don't set in one ways to avoid not knowing where to start is to start small. Write down your goals. I've mentioned that. And then set a roadmap. In tech, when you are trying to learn let's say front end, there is always a roadmap. And that roadmap is what I was also teach my students in this January students. You set out what you want to learn. In Igbo, I don't know how many people are Igbo here. Mmesianka, mmenka. Like if I finish this, I do this. This one cannot come before this one. Like you cannot count two and one. You count one, two, three. That is the roadmap. That is how you progress in your learning. You wouldn't say, I want to get a tech job in January when you are just transitioning into tech this same January. Except for people you already have a skill and that your skill is sellable, it can push you. There are people that reached out to me and say, oh, I can do this. I check what they can do. They don't even have portfolio. You know, I told you guys that most of the pools I sent is based on DMs that I get. Have not had time. I'm going to break it down. On this channel, you can always subscribe and then come back and check videos on so many tech topics and how you can navigate. I've not really balanced. This January has a whole lot of programs for me. And I'm still going to create those content and I'll update it in the community group. So you wouldn't say you are achieving number 10 when you have not done 1, 2. A good example, you want to learn um, front end and you don't know HTML. HTML is not, it's just a markup language. It's not a programming language. But you see HTML, they are the basics. CSS, they are the basics. So you wouldn't jump and say, oh, I'm going to learn JavaScript. I'm going to learn React. I'm going to learn Node.js. Those things are coming later. The same way you wouldn't say, oh, I want to start by applying for jobs now. I sent those job applications based on the feedback I got from the pool. People say, oh, they want me to send jobs. There are jobs. But are you qualified for those jobs? Are you even doing the right thing you're supposed to do while looking for those jobs? That's the truth. And probably a whole lot of us are in the category that if I start now, that by let's say by March, I will have blown. It is possible if you stay consistent. You see, your life can change in 1 year. That use 1 year, you become unrecognizable. It is 100% possible. That's why I will still figure it out how we are going to do our consistency challenge on whatever you are doing. So you are consistently consistent in what you are good at. That is it. There are options for you to weigh before you become consistent. We'll still get to that maybe tomorrow during the class. So you set roadmaps that guide you to starting. This is what I'm going to do first. But what I will tell you guys is purge out the old when you want to start. You don't know where to start is because you are trying to start something new, something you have not done before. Very good. Give yourself an honest questionnaire and answer yourself honestly by yourself, not to me. I can say, oh, how many of you will drop it in the pool? How many of you will drop it in the pool? There are people that may be going through emotions. I'm a very emotional person. I cry easily, but I control it. I can be easily moved to tears. And if anything happens to a loved one, it affects me so much. That's why I put that. But I didn't just put that for you to fill it in. It's also to give you a guide on how to be honest to yourself. What is actually stopping you from starting where you are? Give yourself that honest questions. I know there are a whole lot of people that have so much emotions, depression, anxiety. Fear to fail is part of emotion. Not knowing where to start is part of emotion. Financial wreck is part of emotions. Be honest with yourself. I'm still going to come to that last part of money barrier. When you give yourself honest question and give your response honest answers, you start somewhere. You wouldn't say, it's just like somebody coming to me now and ask me, can you swim? I know I can't, and I want to learn. Maybe the reason why the person was asking me is he's running a free swimming class program. And then because I don't want to feel like I don't know what's up, I'll just say, yes, I can swim. Yeah, any problem. Person be like, oh no, don't worry, it's fine. Then maybe a few feet away, you now hear another person saying, no, I can't swim. The person and say, oh, I want to bring you to our swimming class. We're having a free swimming lessons. We're trying to make our coaches within you. You want to, like, because you know you lied to yourself, not to that man, because he doesn't have, like, there is no need. He doesn't have any need for your lie or your truth, but your truth will have been for yourself at the end of the day because you will have learned how to swim freely. So why I said that is you can lie to me. You can feel in that you don't have any emotions, that all your problem is based on financial money. Is if I have money, if I know where to start, if I can do this. But you know those are like a facade that you wear, a mask that you wear because you don't want to tell yourself the truth. You hide it and sweep it under the carpet. You wouldn't run away from yourself or your truth forever. Tell yourself your truth and walk under your truth. Example of that truth I'm talking about, if you are the type that you know that if you are giving money to do something, or if you're giving a tax to do something, you don't take it serious. That means you have laziness. You have the spirit of laziness in you. And you don't have to lie to yourself that you are, yeah, I'm not lazy, I'm hardworking. Outwardly, you show it out. You know that if when it's close to deadline, that's the only time you want to do the task. You are not proactive. Don't lie to yourself. Tell yourself that truth. That is your truth. You don't have to come and meet me to tell me. So that's part of the way for you to start. Start with your honesty, your own truth. Then the last one here is financial barrier. We are all in Nigerians. I'm also living in Nigeria currently. And 2024 took a whole toll on us financially. No matter how much you earn, at a point, I was wondering, like, where did my money go? What did I buy? What exactly did I spend my money on? Like, Have you seen, not to like make it sound, there was one month, I think that was August last year, I just saw 1.7 and I work from home. I'm not saying this in a prideful way. And I asked myself, what did I had to download I started going from 1st of August down to 31st of August. What did I use this money for? I don't understand how. Like how? In just 1 month. And I now started seeing, oh, I bought some house property. Like, but it wasn't all of them. Like it was just few. I was like, okay, you paid carpenter this, you paid because I usually tag my expenses, furniture guy payments, electric. So it was driving me crazy because the prices were outrageous. It wasn't what it's supposed to be. And imagine doing a bed frame for that maybe I could have probably done for like let's say least 80,000 naira. You're now doing it 170 something thousand. Why? So it's outrageous. That's a very good example. And then you now come off and start planning yourself financially beyond what you crave for. If I crave for parfait anytime, I say I rebuke any spirit of craving out of my body. If you see me doing it, you will think I'm very foolish. You will be like, this girl, you have the money to do this. Why don't you just buy it? But I told myself, I'm not going to buy any of my craving again because if I crave it on Monday, I can crave it on Wednesday and I can crave it on Friday. So if I don't stop myself, if I don't apply that self control on myself, there is no way I will be financially sensible. Finances are my weak point. I learnt it. I took a course on it. I watched financial people. I started learning it like intentionally. That if I just look like this, I will not spend that money. And it felt so good. Trust me, it felt good. That if I say this week, this is the amount I'm going to spend, and sometimes I even spend less, it felt good. Trust me. So when you say finances, it comes with a whole lot of branches. Finances can be you are recklessly, you're a wreck financial person, like money no dey stay for your hand, or you don't know how to make extra source of income. Excuse me. Two, you are somebody that you're an impulsive buyer. If you just see something, there was to show you people, I mean, I used to be an impulsive buyer. I have this water bottle. I have the bigger one. I don't even know where it is. I have the bigger one and I have the medium one, these three in one bottle. And then tell me if this is a need. It is not a need. I went to supermarket, can't remember when, but that was December. And I saw a very colorful water bottle, different from this design and everything. I was like, oh, this thing is so cute. So because something is cute, I should buy it. That's how impulsive buyer I am. And I was like, something just struck me that day. I was like, you have three water bottles at home. Find one. So why are you buying it? Why are you buying this? I was now having dialogue with myself. Yeah, it's true. I don't really need it. I say, yeah, but you can be using that one for jogging. It looks really fine. Maybe you can use that one for jogging. I say, I'm not using it. Like, if you see the way I just shouted at myself, I'm not using it. I'm not buying. That was how it was as if the spirit left me. It sounds funny, but tell me why I should buy it. I don't need it. And a whole lot of us are in that position. You buy it, you keep. You end up not using it. Why? So if you're in that category that you're an impulsive buyer, the day you have the urge to buy something, there was one time I was telling my friend that, and I said, anytime you have the urge to buy something, check the price of that thing. If it is 3,000, push it in your account. At the end of the week, if it's weekly, you check what you will have spent lavishly. I did that. That was part of the financial classes I had. I'm always learning. That's one of my, will I say a problem? I always want to know more. That is it. So, and the tutor, the teacher said that, and I told my friend, I extended what I learned to her, and she applied it. Do you know that November she saved about, I think, 46,400 or so? That would have been the money that she would have not know where it went to. Not like you know that you bought something, but what you bought wasn't really adding up. So imagine now I have had this and then I have another one because it was cute. I may probably have given it out, or maybe not. So that is how you manage your finances. If you belong to the category that your problem with money is that you don't money no dey stay for your hand, you don't know how to keep money. Then the next part is are the people that you don't know how to make this money. The first thing is let this money come first. Let me know even if I know how to maintain it or not. Your problem lies within you. Why I say this lies within you is if you think too much about making money, you end up not making money. But if you act towards making money, you end up making money. There are so many things that if I remember today, I'll be like, if now you started late. It was last year I became intentional about it. A lot of things opened my eyes. The little investments that you will just do without you even seeing the real this thing. If I had kept saying I want to make money, I want to make money. Oh, I want to make money. Would the money fine? So I'm about rounding up. So I trying to update the community. So yeah, I know that some persons may log off because of the inconsistency on my own part. The network has been, yeah, hi, good evening, Gap Stay. Yes. So let's take back to what we're talking about. So these are the top things that keep you on your toes for your 2025 goals. Remove your fears, the finances. If you're a reckless money spender, please get some financial courses, learn how to manage your finances. Don't just be an impulsive buyer. You go to a place you know that you don't need it. So before you make any purchase, ask yourself, do you need this? Is this thing going to add to your progress in what you are doing? A good example is for content creators, I can say, oh, I want to buy a new mic because I need it for my content. That is a good buy because it's going to help with what you are doing. But I wouldn't say I want to buy new dresses as a content creator that sits down at home to make videos because they are not necessary. I can have three clothes and choose to create content with them. If you decide to say, oh, it's only three clothes that you have, that's your business. It is not a need because I am not naked. The only thing that will make you get clothes is when you don't have any other clothes to put on. Yes. Or probably you don't have a sweatshirt or sweater or raincoat and it's raining heavily and you need that to protect your health, then it is a necessity. So that is just it. So you wouldn't say, "Oh, I'm going to get this," when you don't need it. So those are the ways to make your goal achievable by 2025, so that when there is something that you need to get, you wouldn't have that is now a need and important. You wouldn't have lavished your money for something that you didn't want earlier. It has happened to me, and that's why I'm extending that to you. So stick to your plan, make actionable plans, set smart goals. You know what smart goals are? They are just measurable, like call it. simple goals. They are simple, like measurable. I'm trying to remember what smart goals are. Again, like the meaning of the word smart. Um, Hold on, so that I wouldn't pass a wrong information.